Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming back, tuning in. I so appreciate it. Today I decided to, don't forget to like and subscribe and share, please. We're getting close to the giveaway. I think like 30 more. What? Anyway, I'm just showing you the products I'm going to be using. It's going a little quick. I'll put them in the description box. So I decided not to do a pop-off method. I decided, every time I put on nails for content, I think, ooh, I wish I could keep those on because I haven't been wearing nails for a long time. So I decided to do nails that I was going to keep on, and I was going to do both hands, and I literally want them off already, and I haven't even done my other hand. So I figured I would make use of that, and tomorrow, the next day, post a video of me taking them off, how to do a soak off. So I'll take advantage of that. So here I'm just showing you what the tips should look like from the side once they're on. I'm going to put a little clear layer on, some Protien Bond. But before we start, I wanted to let you know, I've mentioned before in my other videos, my nails are paper thin. Like I can feel, if I'm washing my hands and the water's too warm, like they just feel like there's no nail there. It's been that way my whole life. It's genetic. I've taken vitamins. I've tried, a million tricks over the years. They're just thin, and that's it. They break, they peel, they split. I can't grow them. So doing any nails creates a lot of damage. So I either do the pop-off method for content, or if I decide to do nails that I'm going to keep on myself, I just wanted to share this little trick. I either get some Young Nails gel. I'll prep my natural nail bed the way I would prep to put on a set, doing my cuticles and just everything that you would do to put on a set. I'm just showing you how I pick up a bead here, and I think I slowed this down. I've been showing this in my videos in case you guys are curious, because your bead should be thick and malleable. It shouldn't be runny. My nail room was 62 degrees instead of 73 because I left the door open yet again. So I had to use Monomer Enhancer, and I actually had to stop in the middle of this video and shut the door and turn the heater on and go away for like a half an hour and come back because I got so frustrated. Anyway, your nail bead should look almost mattified like this does when you put it down. It should be a little crumbly on the edges, and I just never knew that until I got better at it. But it should be workable, and with Notpolish, it lets you work with it for a long time, but it's not annoyingly wet where it won't dry in forever. Basically, it dries as soon as you quit working with it. Anyway, the method that I use to protect my natural nail is I will do my regular prep, and then I will apply hard gel to like build more of a nail, or I will do a couple coats of gel base coat, not polish, base coat, and it's called Super Base, to thicken up my nail. And then I do prep again on that surface so that my nail tips and acrylic will adhere to that. So when the nails come off, I've not damaged my nail. Any damage just goes to that gel nail I built or the base coats. You have to prep on top of that, though, like you would normally, or your nails aren't going to adhere. You're going to get lifting. So if you have thin nails or a problem like that, that's a good trick. Another thing, I did put a clear layer on to start these because these are my natural nails, and I was using a bright color, and I was planning on keeping nails on and doing fills, and so, or taking them down, but I wanted a clear layer. I don't know why it's all crusty like that. You guys saw it was my normal bead application. So I don't know if it was because of the temperature of the room or if my bead was too dry. I've never seen that before. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. But I just went ahead and applied over it. I have some music playing in the background, so I'm going to let it play a little bit and let you guys watch. So for this nail right here, it was still a little cool in my room, and it was still happening, a little runniness was happening. But what I was trying to do here was do an ombre. So I'm starting at the cuticle instead of at the base because I want like a sideways ombre fade and the other quarter of the nail bottom there. I wanted it to be clear because I'm going to be putting that glitter I showed you on this nail and then capping in clear. That way my acrylic isn't covering it if I did the glitters first and then ombre down over it. I wanted it to be reversed, so that's what I'm doing here. You guys know I can't shut up, so I'm going to keep jumping on. A couple things. I wanted to know if you guys like the background music or if you like me to talk and describe the whole way through. And the other thing I wanted to mention was I was out of frame several times. I don't know why my camera's in the same spot. I just must have been up higher on my table. And this video is a little long because I did include finish filing and top coat and all the bling I did on the thumb. So it's a little bit longer. You guys let me know if filing is annoying, if you do want to see the shaping and filing in videos or not. Comment down below. Also, the temperature struggle was real. You can see how long it's taking for this clear to dry. It actually ended up helping me because I was able to move that heart around back to where I wanted it. But it was just so annoying. I think it was after this nail that I actually stopped and shut the room to let it warm up again before I came back. It was so annoying. Here I'm just showing you the thickness of the nail from the barrel and like where I need to apply some more acrylic. Also, I notice in my videos how often I wipe my brush, and I guess that's probably the key to, I see a lot of comments and people, how do I clean my brush? My brush is clogged with acrylic, or I'm using a different brush today because my other one is soaking, or I got acrylic in my brush, like whatever it is. I've never struggled with that, ever, even from the beginning, because I really took to heart, I think it was probably V that I was watching, because she's the one I watched the most when I was beginning, of just wiping my brush on the towel. And I use the Young Nails table towels, which are super absorbent, but not, there's no lint to them or anything. And it's just extremely helpful to do that. So if you see me doing that a lot, it's just muscle memory by now, but you should definitely get in the habit of doing that. And you won't ever have to clean your brush. I just soak mine in that little container I've showed you guys before as soon as I'm done, just in case anything is in it. but I've just never had that struggle. I've used this brush I'm using in this video for over 2 years now, and I've never had to clean it. I've never had anything stuck in it, and I guess I just care for it properly. So if you pay attention to that, you'll always keep a brush nice and usable. And it must have been after this nail that I shut the room up, because I see I'm still struggling here. When I do my thumbnail, which is all one solid nail of this color, I did not have this struggle of trying to keep it on the nail. And I mentioned before in videos, I used to, when I first started, put a bead on, drag it down. And of course, I was dragging a lot of product off. Mostly what's on my towel is Monomer, some product, but not a lot. And I think that's important. I see a lot of people doing the same thing I did in the beginning, which is literally just dragging your product off the nail. It's because your bead is too wet, and it's also because you're pulling it down too early. And the way to avoid that is like what I'm doing in this nail. It looks annoying and it takes time. If your room is too cold or your bead is too wet, it does become annoying. But when you have things going correctly, it's not annoying. But patting is the key. That is the only way you're going to keep your acrylic on your nail in place, and you'll know when to start dragging down and pulling when you start getting resistance, when it's a little bit harder, when you have to use more pressure with your brush to move that product. That's when you know you can drag it down and you're not dragging it off the nail. This was also a struggle. I was out of frame when I did that ombre. Sorry about that. You guys, for real, what is up with that crusty clear bead? I've never seen that before. I use the same liquid to powder ratio for all my beads, and that just is just so weird. Please comment if anybody knows what that is. Also, I'm curious to know if there are any other people who watch who are doing your own nails. Do you do the pop-off method to create content, or do you do your nails and take them off, or just redo them every 2 weeks when it's time? What is your method? Because for me, and it's been this way for me since the beginning, so just the whole satisfying way that acrylic is, just how it looks to apply. Like, there's literally a part of my mind that makes me want to go to my nail room at random times, 2 in the morning. First thing in the morning, I've been thinking about it, but it's because it's so satisfying. Like, I love that as soon as you stick your brush in the acrylic and it makes a bead. I just love everything about that from then on. So it's a draw. It draws me like a lot. And the second part that draws me is when I was beginning, buying products was a thing, because I would see, someone else's content or posts on Instagram, and I would think, oh, I have to make that set, and I would recreate all kinds of sets that I saw. And then once I had product, all I have to do is like open my nail drawer where the glitters are, or walk in my room and see a color, and my mind just starts running with things I want to do, designs I want to make. And so I want to do nails. So of course I had to buy a practice hand to start practicing on myself and my daughter and everybody, but the designs were like burning up my mind. So for me, what ended up happening was I was doing nails on myself a lot. And with my thin nail problem, I was definitely doing damage. I had to let them rest for months. And so I had to do a lot of research about pop-off method and everything. And of course, the first time I tried the pop-off method, it didn't work because the free edge of my nails were too damaged. So the nail tip that I had glued on wasn't interested in popping off. It was stuck there for good. So I thought, oh, okay, of course, because it's my nails, it's never going to work for me. But that was just because I damaged them. But the other problem that I encounter when doing nails, and same with this set I did here, as soon as I am done with it, I want it off. I love wearing nails, but I don't want it off because I don't want to wear nails. I want it off because I want a different set already. I already think I should have used a different pink, or if I use this next time, and I just want to do more nails. So I'll do it on my practice hand to avoid damaging my own nails. So this time I did all the prep, and this was supposed to be a permanent set, not a pop-off set, but I'm already going to take them off tomorrow. And I didn't do my right hand. I always do that last because it's my non-dominant hand, and it's hard. I was going to record that too because it might have gotten some giggles. I don't know if you guys struggle doing your non-dominant hand. I've gotten pretty good at it over the years, but I haven't done it in a while. So, a while, probably 8 months. So I'll probably make a video doing that, but it'll be a pop-off. So I want to know what kind of struggles you guys face. Did you do damage to your nails in the beginning? Did you decide to use the pop-off method only? Do you only make content? Or do you do your own nails and fill them every 2 weeks? or do you take clients? Like, what is your nail journey? And then also, if you are doing your own nails like me, do you want a new design immediately or soon thereafter? I've also heard other people say this, that they want a different set, you know, within a few days or a week. For me, it's almost instant, which is just ridiculous. But I've never been a creative person. I can't draw, so I've never been artistic. I've never been creative. I'm an Aries, and one of the zodiac descriptions that you'll see if you look up an Aries, we're supposed to be creative. And I always thought, BS, like nothing runs through my mind to do with art or nothing. But as soon as I started doing nails, and you guys, I started doing nails when I was like 49. So a long lifetime full of thinking I wasn't creative. And I tell you, I know that the designs burning up in my mind and opening up my glitter drawer and like ideas and designs spinning through my mind, that means I am creative, but I never knew that. I never knew it. So I just want to know about your guys' nail journey and what you've discovered about yourself and what you do with your sets. And also, I love doing designs on nails, but I tell you what's really satisfying for me is to do one nail a solid color. I love just not having to do an ombre, no marble, no glitter, no encapsulation, just one solid nail. And back in the day, that's all you used to be able to get at the salon was just a clear nail with a polish or a pink and white. They called them pink and whites back then, but now we call that a French design or maybe a pink and white ombre. But I want to know about your nail journey, and I want to hear if you've had any of the same struggles as me. So right here I was showing you guys kind of the indent and or naked spot on the side of the nail. If you watch any of my videos, that is always where I'm missing product. I've tried to pay attention and not miss product in that spot, but it's just the way I apply, and it's hard to change that, so I just add a little. Normally, with Notpolish colored acrylics, they do not need to be kept in clear. There are a lot of nail techs I hear say that colored acrylics need to be capped in clear because they start losing strength when pigment is added. But I've just always used good products. I always use Notpolish. If there are some other products I use, they'll be KIARA Sky, Young Nails, Chisel. Those are the only acrylics. I have a few Valentino. That's also a good product. So I've never encountered that because my colored acrylics that I use are 99% it's going to be a Notpolish color. I'll do an unboxing too. I also have, they had a Lunar New Year sale going on. I don't know if it still is, but paying with Klarna and using their discount, I mean, who doesn't want to buy that? Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. I'll tell you about that so I don't get off topic. But I cap and clear when I'm doing an ombre or a marble or glitter, anything that you can file off. You don't want to ruin your design, so that's why I'm capping and clear, and then also to fill in any blank spots. But if it's a solid color nail or just an edge of a nail, I will choose to fill that in with the color that is missing instead of clear, because in the beginning I really listened to other texts that I was hearing say do a really thin layer of your color and build the strength and apex with your clear. Well, especially in the beginning when you don't know how thick you should be making your nails, that literally creates, from the side view, you can see a thick old layer of clear and then your color underneath, and I think it looks terrible. Probably because I was doing it wrong or too thick or whatever, but since then I've also learned that one of the things that Notpolish offers with their products is strength in their color. So they do not need to be capped and clear. Like this thumb here, I'm not capping it. My pinky, I'm not capping it. The only reason I capped the others, again, was to cover my designs so I don't file them off during filing. This here I really wanted to mention. So later on, it's either now or later on, I noticed this nail was missing, you know, its apex and some thickness and shape. So I went back in after it was dry to add more colored acrylic, especially a darker pigmented color. This used to happen with me before I had my liquid to powder ratio down correctly. What used to happen was I would have even a nude set. Sorry, I got distracted because you see where I'm scraping with my nail there? There were a couple of little pigment spots that needed to be blurred out, and that's all you do is you take the tip of your brush and wipe them off. But anyway, I have a nail that's dry that is finished, and I need to add more colored acrylic to it. If my bead isn't the same as the beads I put down previously, you're going to have a color difference. You might put down a drier or wetter bead and you'll literally be able to see where you applied that bead because the color difference will be there. So that's another reason your liquid to powder ratio should be on point. I'm not going to forget to tell you what I was telling you about Notpolish, but I need to talk about this since I don't usually do filing. What I was showing you were the things I'm going to be using for bling, and then I am resetting, so to speak, my Tammy Taylor file. This is not how I sanitize my boards, my reusable Tammy Taylor boards. I sanitize them in barbicide like my stainless products. Well, I sanitize then sterilize. But because this is the one I always use on myself and my daughter, I'm just using a disinfectant wipe and drying it off. So me showing you that is not showing you how you should do it. That's just a little caveat there. So I'm showing you here how I use these three things when I'm doing my own nails. So I'll use the 100 grit either Notpolish zebra file or the 100 grit Tammy Taylor file, and I just move back and forth to whatever my hand picks up, really, or if I need to get in a smaller spot for whatever reason. After that, I use the blue side, which is the 180 side of the Tammy Taylor file, which is like a stage 2 file, so it gets out most of your scratches. And then that buffer block, I don't see anybody else using that or the blue one, but when I was on Amazon one day looking to buy the red ones, those popped up, and so I got them. And when you're done with all three of the steps, the red, the blue, and the buffer block, your nail feels like it already has a top coat. It is so smooth, which it's just amazing. I mean, it gets all the scratches out. Really, really, really good product. Recommend doing all of those. The only problem that you can sometimes get doing that is if your nail is too buffed and too slick. I can never think of the word when I'm talking on these videos. If your nail is too, the surface is too shiny and smooth. Smooth is the word I cannot think of. If your nail is too smooth, your gel top coat can separate. So, because gel needs a little bit of roughness to adhere. Sometimes you'll see me as I'm filing literally smack my nail with the file. That's just to get the dust off, and I don't do that to anyone but myself and my daughter. And I know I hold the file weird, but I feel like I have more control and can get a hold of more surface when I do this. I can file the way you're supposed to file, you know, left to right in one stroke, but I don't feel like I get the shaping I want doing that. So my method is to take the coarser files, hand files. I can also do, you know, because the application is pretty good, I try to make my application as good as possible because I don't like filing. I don't think anybody does. But my method will be to use the shaping and or coarsest file to do all of my free edges, and sometimes the top of the nail like I'm doing here. And the angle is weird because it's really hard to file. If you guys also create content, it's hard to stay in frame and file. I'll tell you my method in a second. I want to show you this. You see how I'm looking from under the nail? I learned this trick on accident one time. This helps you keep your shape. If you file from underneath like that and make your sidewalls match your tip, that's a good trick, a little hack. My next method will be to, as you see, I'm not really going on the cuticle with this filing because I will take my Notpolish medium barrel bit because it leaves the least amount of scratches in the nail, and do my cuticle finish sealing with that. And any marks that I make with that, I will buff out with a buffer. Usually this Tammy Taylor buffer block. They are expensive though, so I don't really use these on clients because you have to throw it away afterwards, and unless you have returning clients, and then I keep a little container for each client with files that I only use on them. So in that instance, I might be using a Tammy Taylor on them that's just theirs until it's gone. But for the most part, I use the Profiles Backstage sponge buffers, which are also expensive, but worth it. So here I'm showing you, I'm going with that 180 grit to get the deeper scratches I made with the coarser file. And also in this video, besides the filing I just showed you on my other hands, I'm only going to show you the finished product, or how I did the finished product on my thumb. So the thumb, I'm gonna buff all the way. I'm gonna do the cuticle. I'm going to top coat and do some bling. So this is the only nail I'm gonna record finishing because I didn't think anybody wanted an hour video of filing and all the other nails. So that is what you'll see here. And as usual, at the end, I attach the video I make that I post on TikTok and Instagram, so you guys can see the finished product. So what I was going to say is, if any of you guys are like me and you like working with a small brush, like I've talked about before, look at this. Look how the nail looks after those 3 steps. And I tell you what, it feels like velvet. So I went on Notpolish website to get a few things with the sale because I need monomer, I need files, and every time I go on there, if they have a good sale, of course I'm gonna buy some acrylics. I usually keep like a running list in my desk of acrylics I see that I want, so the next time there's a sale, I'll add them to my order. With Notpolish, if you spend $150 or more, the shipping is free. You're going to pay $10 to $15 for shipping, and that's the cost of an acrylic or files or a bit if you're using the 30% discount. So I just always add that one extra thing to my cart. So I don't ever order from them unless it's $150 or more. But in their new arrivals tab, which is what comes up when you open their website, guess what I saw? Size 8 and size 10 Kolinsky acrylic brush. Guys, I put that in my cart so fast, I literally thought, oh my gosh, these are gonna sell out. So I can't wait for that to come. When that comes, when it ships, it hasn't even shipped yet. I think it was just yesterday, the day before, that I ordered it. When I get it, I'll do an unboxing. Here I want to show you, I did do a top coat with Gloss-It and cured it for 60 seconds. And I'm using ZULAY's gel. Look at this. These MAKARTT, and I'm showing you that on the package shows you nothing. I got this in a nail lab. I was subscribing to their nail lab a couple months, and then I quit doing it. But they're clear, as you can see from the package. The package doesn't say anything on it, but as soon as they go in the light, they turn red. Do you see that? So these are, as I'm looking at them on my hand right now, they remain clear, but whenever they are exposed to light, they turn red, which is super duper cute. But that's what I was showing you there. I struggle with, guys, I find it tedious to do bling, so that's why I don't see that on a lot of my sets. I can do it. I can, I have many different types of jewels and, you know, whatever, beads and stuff, and I know how to do it, and I can make it look really cute, but I don't know, leave a comment if you feel the same way. It's just tedious. When I'm done with the set, I want to be done with the set. I don't want to have 30 more steps adding bling. I just don't like it. So that's why I only did it on one nail, because also I think we've become used to seeing nails that are over the top, and it's just / boring or not acceptable to have just a plain color nail. So I thought my pinky being plain was enough plain, and let me just add a little bling. I have some cute things. So I am curing in between for like 10 seconds as I go here, so that things don't slide and move around. So you can kind of tell as I go. And then I'm just in blank spots putting a little bit of that gel and grabbing up whatever pearls and balls are in the bottom of my little dish and just globbing them on there to fill it in, and it looks cute like that. So the reason I'm reapplying top coat gently is to cover up any glue or smears that I have from wiping glue off. So I'm just going to gently go around my designs and recoat them. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to stay on instead of stop talking, because after this there was something else. Oh no.